When we talk about self-care, most of us immediately think of a spa day, a short getaway, or buying something that makes us feel better for a moment. Somehow we've turned self-care into something to purchase instead of something to practice. We treat it like a reward. After enduring for too long, after pushing ourselves to exhaustion, after holding it together just to get through another day. But here's the strange part. The more we practice self-care this way, the more tired many people actually become. In Japan, the way people understand self-care is very different. It's not tied to big moments. It doesn't wait until collapse to begin. For them, self-care is a way of living, every single day. Not as a way to escape pressure, but as a way to make sure pressure never has the chance to pile up in the first place. When you begin to see self-care not as an escape, but as something meant to be lived within daily life, a different definition starts to appear. This is how Japan understands self-care. In Japan, self-care is not treated as an event, not something reserved for weekends, not something you do only when you have money, and not something you wait for until life becomes overwhelming. It lives right inside ordinary days, inside very small moments, quiet, repeated, almost invisible. Opening a window in the morning and letting fresh air move through the room. Preparing tea slowly with full attention to each movement. Pausing, just briefly, to feel what is actually happening inside you. These moments are not meant to feel indulgent. They are not about pampering. They simply help you stay with yourself. In this way, self-care is not about adding new things to your life. It's about changing how you are present in the life you already have. No extra time required, no special conditions needed. Just attention. And when self-care becomes something you live each day, a quiet question naturally follows. Why do these small habits actually work? They don't work because they're unique or exotic. They work because they touch something very fundamental in us. Human beings were not designed to live in constant urgency. The body needs rhythm. The mind needs something steady to lean on. When small actions are repeated every day, they begin to form a stable rhythm of living. That rhythm gently calms the nervous system. It brings attention back to the present moment instead of pulling it endlessly toward the past or the future. And this is what all of these habits share. They don't try to fix your thoughts. They begin with the body, breath, movement, light, the senses. Because you are not just a mind that keeps thinking, you are a living body. And once you understand that self-care begins with the body, not with forcing the mind, the first habit becomes surprisingly simple. It starts the moment you wake up. For many people, the first thing they reach for in the morning is their phone. Notifications, messages, news. Other people's thoughts rush in before you've even had a chance to feel yourself. In Japan, many people begin the morning differently. They open a window, no rush, nothing else. Just opening the window and letting outside air enter the room. It's a very brief moment, but it plays a clear role. The body receives a signal. The night has ended. A new day has begun. Fresh air replaces stale air. Morning sounds, outdoor temperature, subtle movement, they gently pull you out of half sleep and back into the present. This isn't a complicated ritual. It's a very small action, but it quietly returns ownership of the morning to you. Because a new day deserves to begin with the real world, not with a screen. The modern world runs on speed. We eat fast, we walk fast, we think fast. Even when we're resting, the mind keeps racing. In Japanese culture, matcha carries a different rhythm. Matcha cannot be rushed. You measure the powder, heat the water to the right temperature, whisk slowly until the tea becomes smooth and light. Every step requires attention. If you rush, you feel it immediately. But the important part isn't the tea. The tea is only an excuse. What's really happening is that a pause is being created in the day. A space where you cannot multitask. A space where you're gently forced to stay with the movement of your hands, the sound of the bamboo whisk touching the bowl, the rhythm of your own breath. That ritual quietly reminds us of something essential. Slowing down is not a waste of time. It gives time back to you. Most of the time, we live disconnected from our senses. We eat without truly tasting. We breathe without noticing that we are breathing. The body is present, but the mind is somewhere else. In Japanese culture, there is a very subtle practice: listening to scent. Listening, not just smelling. Not to judge whether the scent is pleasant or not, but to give full attention to the sensation as it unfolds. When you focus on a scent, the mind finds an anchor. Like the breath in meditation, it gently keeps you in the present moment. And when the mind begins to wander, the scent brings you back, without force, without effort. You don't need anything special. The smell of morning coffee, the air after rain, the scent of soap on your hands. Presence doesn't begin with thinking more, it begins with sensing. We spend most of our time indoors, under artificial lights, between closed walls, and slowly we forget that the body needs natural light. In Japanese, there is a beautiful word, komorebi. It describes sunlight filtering through the leaves of trees, a moment so small it's easy to miss, yet meaningful enough to be given a name. Sunlight isn't only something to look at. It regulates the body's internal rhythm. It tells the body when to wake up and when to slow down and rest. Just a few minutes standing by a window in the morning, or sitting outside during a lunch break. Feeling warmth touch the skin, noticing the quality of light as the day moves. These moments quietly influence your energy and your mood. We were never meant to live cut off from nature. Modern life has simply made us forget. We accumulate things quietly, in drawers, on shelves, in corners we rarely open. Every item was once something we thought we needed. In Japanese culture, Siri means letting go of what is no longer necessary. Satan means arranging what remains. This isn't about throwing everything away. It's about being honest with yourself. Honest about what you truly use and what is only taking up space. We often keep things for emotional reasons, for memories, for the thought that maybe one day I'll need this. But every unused item still quietly takes a piece of your attention. Your eyes register it. Your brain processes it, even when you're not aware. Having fewer things doesn't make life poorer. It makes life clearer. Letting go of objects is also letting go of weight inside the mind. Water touches your skin many times each day. When you wash your hands, when you wash your face, when you shower. Yet most of those moments pass in unconsciousness. The hands are moving while the mind is somewhere else. In Japanese culture, even small actions, like washing your hands, can become a practice. Not to clean faster, but to be present. You notice the temperature of the water, the feel of soap between your fingers, the sensation of your hands becoming lighter, cleaner. When attention stays with the body, the mind gets to rest. There's no need to push thoughts away. Just return to the sensation that's already there. Most of life is not made of big moments. It's made of very small actions, repeated day after day. And if you're not present for them, you're not fully living them. At the end of the day, what exhausts us the most is not always the body, but the mind. Too many decisions, too much information, too many thoughts that never seem to stop. In Japanese culture, tidying up is not just housework. It's a form of mental care. Simple movements, sweeping the floor, wiping the table, putting things back where they belong, give the body something gentle to do while the mind is allowed to rest. Each action has a clear result. The floor becomes clean. The space becomes orderly. Everything returns to its place. When you tidy your living space, you are quietly preparing for a new day. And at the same time, you are preparing yourself. A lighter state, a clearer state. Self-care is not about escaping life. It is about returning to live fully inside the life you already have.